Welcome back. We are super excited to have our next guest. Elizabeth is not only an amazing person and friend and everything here in Medina, but she has got an amazing journey that every woman needs to hear, because sometimes we have little pauses in our life and we need to hear about those. So welcome to the show, Elizabeth. I am super honored as a friend and somebody that I have looked up to over the last, I don't even know how many years we've known each other, but you have been an icon in Medina and people look up to you and you're just so wise in what you do. So tell our viewers today, what does your journey look like today?
Janice, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate being able to speak with another fellow business owner who's on her own journey. How crazy is it, right? So the last year and a half of my life, I had a lot of epiphanies. And one of them was that I needed to close Elizabeth Inc. And I realized that over the past 20 years, I basically made an amazing job for myself, right? But through that journey, I realized that that's all it was for me. I didn't want to take on employees. I really didn't want I couldn't manage training, and I needed to really figure out how to prioritize the things that were important to me. So nights and weekends were a hard stop. I needed to find a solution for that. And I didn't see a way through that path without ending my journey at Elizabeth Inc. And that was really interesting because it's a cumbersome decision to decide to end something that you've really put a lot of heart and soul into for a long time.
Yes, I know that, yeah.
But also, it's incredibly freeing to let it go and be proud of the work that you put in and be really proud of the progress that you made and be able to bring your time and attention to something that you can be passionate about again. And so for me, that was super, super important.
And so that next transition leads to?
Yeah, this is my pandemic project. Okay, so everybody had way too much time on their hands, and I decided to write a children's book. So I put a lot of time and effort into this one. And thank you very much for supporting me in this journey.
Every single little person in my life got that. And then I got to sit and hold them and read it to them and turn it on. So we're going to listen about this because this is my favorite book of all time.
Yeah, so I actually wanted to get my children involved in the entrepreneurial process. So their hands are actually in the book. When I illustrated this, I used their little hands. Let me see. To help me tell the story. So in all of the pages of the book, you'll see my kids' stuff. They took the pictures. They took pictures of one brother, took the pictures of the other brother's hands, and then they helped me with the illustrations. They approved them, we'll put it that way. and so for me, this was a really fun journey. So Little Mind Books was born amongst the pandemic. And since then, again, we're talking about a transition. Now we're dealing with supply chain issues and the cost of paper being astronomical. So I have several other projects, Janice, that I literally cannot get printed because of the paper costs, and it kills me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that supply chain right now is dampering so many different businesses. I know several people that, like you said, cost of the book, your cost was X a year ago, and now it's doubled,
right?
And it's prohibiting you to move forward. But I want to take a little step back because
fair enough.
This little guy makes this book.
Yeah.
I would love to know how this came about because this is what makes this book come alive.
So I don't want to write books that are just books. I want them to be experiences for kids, and I want them to be able to imagine that they are part of the story. So for me, creating this little Twinkle light, it's a great night light. The kids can put it on their nightstands. But for me, it was important for them to be able to pretend to catch fireflies because that's what the child in the book does. And I love the idea of being able to create something that matches what's in the book, but also that the child can then pretend and play and continue to enjoy the story beyond the book itself. So I also created coloring sheets, and I animated the book, which you can actually see on the Armstrong channel on YouTube. So it's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. And I'll probably continue to write the books for now, but I don't know that I'm going to have any more printed in the meantime. And again, Janice, I've just realized the older I get that my time is worth so much to me. And for me, my kids are only little ones. They're 10 and 11, and I want to spend my nights and weekends with them. So the peace I have from closing Elizabeth Inc., and I'm still at peace with this, because it's necessary to prioritize the things that matter the most to me. So I want to know how you feel about that too.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because as I get older, I have identified, I look back on my journey of owning Romp and Stomp and then now owning the Biz Hive, and I'm in a different season of my life. Both my children aren't children anymore. They're adults,
And they're fabulous humans. You did an amazing job.
Thank you. They are everything to me. But you're right, prioritizing. And right now, I'm in the season of my life that I am gearing towards retirement. We have a really strong path for that, and building a team again. I miss building a team. Unlike you, I love having that team environment, hiring people, training, building a company, and not being the product. So I'm like, there's a lot of solo entrepreneurs, right, that I talk to all the time about, okay, you cannot be a solo entrepreneur. You've got to have other people that surround you in some capacity. And my journey right now is spending time with my husband, every ounce and every minute that I can get with my kids, because they're very, very busy. If they say, hey, Mom, do you want to have dinner? Absolutely, I'll cancel whatever's on my schedule, because you never know what that moment is going to come again, because they're not 10 and 12.
Right.
They're 21 and 23.
Right.
And they're career-minded, and so,
they're building their own life.
That's correct.
And
so
you're not the center of it
priorities
anymore. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I want to be, but when I can be, I want to be that center, and I want to be that. And talk about priorities. Something that just strikes me hard is that parents, we go to restaurants or whatever, and we're driven by this whole technology world. And I love this because I was able to sit with my niece and nephews and be able to have cuddle time of being able to read something, bring this to life. And I reminisce back on being a mom and running my business and being on the phone. And my daughter hit me hard one day and said, am I not as important as that phone that you're on? And till this day, we cherish family time, eating dinner together. We had Laura from Partake on just the last week's episode, and the reason why she birthed her business was because she wants that time that she can drive family time at a table. Yes. And my daughter has put me in my place several times, up until the point where we aren't, no technology at the dinner table, or
that's fabulous.
Wherever. So when you talk about priorities, right, you're in the season of life of 10 and 12, and putting things on pause is not a bad thing, or putting necessary ends into play. But the one thing that I could resonate with you is when you put priorities, whether it's putting mom time in place or putting down technology, that's my mom check right now is, we're so wrapped up in life, but parents need to put down their technology at a dinner table, or when you're out to dinner, your kids need to have your time,
Well, I think because of technology, we get stuck in this place where we feel like we can't be unavailable.
Right.
And so we can be available to everyone else through our technology, and then be completely unavailable to our families.
Right.
And so there's that disconnect, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I think is really important as an entrepreneur is to make sure that you keep your passion in check, right?
Yeah.
So the reason that I took the position with IGV is because I am able to do the marketing stuff that I absolutely love. I wake up excited every day. I work super hard. I have amazing clients. I took a lot of my clients with me.
Oh, good.
And honestly, IGV, we have a team of people that are scrappy, that think outside the box, that are results driven, and we're able to provide an even better service than I ever was able to as Elizabeth Inc.
Yeah.
Because I have a team
Yeah.
that I can build with.
Absolutely.
And so, as an entrepreneur, you have to know when you need the team.
Yeah.
You need to tag out and say, not it. Your learn your job, right? Because as a solopreneur, I took on so many different hats, and it stressed me out, and I couldn't focus on the things that I was
what you're passionate
at.
Yeah.
Really good at and
Yeah.
excelled at. And now I have a whole team of people that I can fall back on for the pieces that I am not great at, like the web design and email deliverability, things like that. I mean, Karen and Justin are amazing. We're growing that company, and it feels so good to have the passion back for what I do.
Good.
And I think as an entrepreneur, you have to keep that in check. You know, you're always an entrepreneur. Even if you stop one venture and you're helping somebody else with something else, that doesn't mean you're not an entrepreneur. You didn't give anything up. You bring all of that passion and energy to the table with you. Yeah. And I think you can create great things.
And to those employers out there that don't want to hire somebody that was an entrepreneur, you have no idea what you're gaining with somebody that used to be an entrepreneur and step back into a position to serve others, you know. And it's oftentimes that, you know, because I do a lot of HR stuff, is, well, they were an entrepreneur, I don't want to hire them. Why wouldn't you? You know, they're not going to come and take your company over. They're going to help you and have that same entrepreneurial mind that another non-entrepreneur wouldn't, right? So interesting.
You're able to drive. The thing about people like me is that we're so driven. We're results driven. We've had to be, you know? So anyways, it's a great experience. I don't regret my decisions in any way, shape, or form. And it's okay. It's okay to make different priorities and come back to things. When the printing costs go down, and I can actually do that again, you know. So it's a really important lesson, because you can't feel like you gave something up.
Right.
You know, you need to find peace.
100%.
And purpose.
Peace and purpose. So tell the viewers, we're going to end with this like we do with every single episode. We would love to hear one piece of word of wisdom to a lady that's watching today that may want to launch into her own business. She wants to go out on her own. What would be a words of wisdom to you, to that lady that's watching today?
There is no end to entrepreneurship. It is only a journey. And every step can be 3 steps forward, 4 steps back. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. The important thing is that you don't give up, and you have to know when to throw in the towel and when it's okay, and give yourself peace, because it's about the journey, and that journey should always be evolving. Right? Yeah. What you start at isn't what you finish at. No one does. Yeah. I don't care where you are.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much for being, I know you're a busy woman, a busy mom, just a busy person.
Not too busy for you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much, Janice.
Thank you very much. Well, listen, it has been an awesome time with you, Elizabeth, and we have our next guest that's coming for next week is going to be Carrie Bellar. She comes all the way across the pond, that is now here in the United States, and she's going to tell us about her journey into planning weddings and events. So stay tuned. Join thebizbees.com, and it's a free membership for all women business owners and who want to just be connected and supported. It's free. Go to www.thebizbees.com. Until next time, toodles.